And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at a game called Welcome to Dino World. Now, Dino World is a game, it's a roll and write game. Roll and write games, if you've never heard of them, think Yahtzee, where you roll some dice, write some numbers down, and sees what happens. This one, you are also have dinosaurs and are trying to build a park about them without having them kill people. Here's how it plays. At the beginning of the game, you're going to decide whether you're going to play in light mode or in danger mode. They come with two different pads, and the way you play them and score them is going to be slightly different. I'm going to explain light mode and then give you some differences in the danger mode. So in the base game, you're going to have some visitor cards randomly shuffled between each player, 4, 6, and 10. And these are going to be sorts of things that if you manage to do, if I get 5 generators used, and I'm the first person between me and my neighbor, because one of these will be between every 2 players, the first person to do it will get this card and it'll be worth that many points at the end of the game. If both players get them at the same time, you'll turn it sideways and you'll both get points. So build 5 facilities, I'll get 10 points. And so I'm looking at the cards here and here. The rest of the cards on the table don't matter to me. There's also public objectives, although this is a Kickstarter exclusive or promo card set that you can get. And then there are a couple random, basically facilities that are placed out here, one of 2 different types, and there's multiples that you can put out there. Each round of the game, someone is going to roll the dice. So here we rolled a 1, 5, and a 5. And a player is going to write on their board the dice that are rolled, 1, 5, and 5. Then simultaneously, players are going to use these dice. Now there's a variety of things that they can do with dice. One of the main things is building a dinosaur pen. So to build this dinosaur pen, I need a 3, a 1, 2, or 3, 2, 3, or 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, or 6, 7 plus, 7 plus. I can add these together, although I would have to use both 5s to be able to get a T-Rex or a Brachiosaurus. So maybe I want to build a Stegosaurus here. So I need a 3, 4, or 5. So I'll use this 5 to give myself this. Now this is a pen that is size 5. The pen needs to be connected to the path. So there's the path there. So maybe I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll build it like that. I'll then draw it in here. And if you can't draw, you can always just write a big S, because each of these starts with a different letter, so Stegosaurus starts with an S. You can do that. It also requires power. This one requires 1 power, so I'll build a power station here next to it and put this like this. I'm going to cross off one of my power stations down here. Each generator that I don't use, these power station generators, will get me 2 points at the end of the game. And I built one there, so maybe later on I'll try to build another pen, next to it that's also using that same power generator. I'm going to need to connect things with paths, so I can also use paths. So maybe I'll use this 5 for paths. I can now build paths. I can draw a straight line down like this. That costs 1 pip of the 5 die. And maybe I'll draw a crossroads here, which costs 3 more. And then I'll draw a curve like this for a 5th one. So I can draw paths, and I use the 5 pips of the die. You can always upgrade a regular path to a crossroads later on, but it costs 4. So that's kind of expensive. And then you can build these facilities. So I have a 1 here. Maybe I'll use this 1 and build this facility here. I don't know what I just built. Let me look at the picnic area. It's 3 points if adjacent to a lake, 1 point otherwise. That's 1 point. So it probably would have been a better idea maybe to build it here. But we'll have to wait and see. So after everyone's done with the dice, we'll put the rest of the dice out, we'll roll them again, and we'll keep going. And at the end, you're going to count up your score. Each dinosaur that you have is going to be worth points for how many pens you have of those dinosaurs. You're going to get points for facilities. You get points for the visitors that you claimed over the course of the game. 2 points for each generator you didn't use. And miscellaneous and bonus points, and the most points is the winner. There are several changes if you play in the danger mode. First of all, there is danger, and the carnivores are going to be causing possibly more problems. They're going to be bringing danger to the thing. Generators are going to work a little bit differently. Each generator gives 4 megawatts of power, so you just draw lines like, I'll give 1 power to this cage and 2 to that one and 1 to that one as you draw your different sorts of things, and they require power, but this one only requires 1 power. So if I build the Compsognathus here, I can just put 1 to that one. So you have fewer of the generators. You're also going to be having threat that's going to be increased as time goes by, and the more your threat is, the more of these boxes you'll cross off, which could cause power generators to fail, and when that happens, you'll start crossing off different sections of the dino pens and possibly having the dinos escape from the park, which is bad. There's also going to be some labs that are in the game. There's 3 different piles of labs, and you're going to put 1 card from each out here, and so these are things that you can use over the course of the game. You may build up to 2 dino pens in a single round. Using those different research things is going to cost down here to use these, and also I should mention that there's a die rolled each round, which is kind of the danger die, which is going to show how much your generator limits are, etc. So it adds more complexity to the game, but scoring is fairly close to the same, with the only difference if there's some extra points for threat trackers and things like that. The cards for the game are very good quality. I do wonder why they didn't put like 4-point visitors, like why they didn't put like a little 4 up on the other side. It's easier to separate them out. But other than that, I like the silly little artwork they showed, like, it's not very good drawings. Well, guess what? Mine are worse, but that's a nice thing. The game comes with little pencils and an eraser even. And if you notice, this eraser is used quite a bit actually already, because you will erase a lot. And in fact, this is one of the games I normally recommend, laminating these and getting markers. Oh my goodness, yes, on this one. I am also surprised that there's a big pad here for danger mode and a big pad for light mode, and it seems odd that they didn't like double side them. It would have fit. I mean, this is a pretty hefty thing to put in a box, but it is what it is. Everything else is pretty good though. I like how all the cards look. They're good quality. I like the artwork. The rule book explains everything, but I mean, once you put everything into this box here, it's a pretty hefty box for a roll and write. Now, I'm going to wager that most people are going to prefer the danger mode. First of all, that brings the whole Jurassic theme to life. All the dinosaurs are escaping, power grids are going down, and here the water in your car is shaking as the giant T-Rex lumbers its way, ready to eat you. And I like it. It's fine, but I do like the regular version better, the light version better, because it is light. There's a lot of stuff going on in this game. There's a lot of stuff. This is possibly the most complex roll and write I've ever played, and in fact, I think I would prefer this game better were a slightly bigger game, and instead of rolling and writing, I was putting little wooden fences down and putting little dinosaur meeples on the board, because it feels like a bigger game than it is. Now, that's not a bad thing, but I will say that as you draw the sheets, sometimes the sheets will look good, and sometimes they'll look like this. Well, that one actually looks pretty good. Let's see if I can find one that's not quite as exciting. This person didn't even draw the dinosaurs. They just wrote the names of them. And it's okay, but the pencils that they give you and writing that stuff down, it gets kind of messy, and you're erasing it constantly and stuff, and it's like, woof, there's a lot going on in here. I'm going to use this die. Am I going to build a dinosaur pen? What kind of dinosaur pens am I building? I'm looking at the public objectives, if you have them. I'm looking at the visitors next to me. I'm going to look at dinosaurs and see how much they get me. How much danger is this adding to the park? And it's like, woo, there is a lot going on in the light version of the game, and that's plenty for me. Again, I'll play the danger version of the game, but the light version of the game works well. You fill up your park, you draw your paths around, you put the facilities in, and there's a lot of replayability. Facilities are going to be different every game. The dice rolled will be different, and you have to learn how to deal with that. How will you build the paths in your park? Now, once you add danger mode, there's even more differences between each round. And so I like this. I think, like, if you get this game, you're getting your money's worth. However, most roll and writes are fairly simple. Roll some dice, put them in there. Ooh, some tricky moves. This one kind of amps that up to 11. And that's and I think the theme comes through. The whole thing works well. Just realize that that slight higher complexity is there. And some people also like the whole, oh, my park's falling apart because I just didn't put enough, the danger level's too high. But either way, it does offer two very distinct ways to play. They really do feel very different. They look the same, they score fairly the same, but they have a different feel to them. So I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this one. If you want a roll and write that's deeper and offers more, then check out Welcome to Dino World. Dice Tower Judgment approved.